tell me about the making of it. So was it difficult? I mean, committing the greatest fraud, I don't know what you want to call it. I'm not saying it's
think a lot about that at the time.
I know, so I'm not making a moral judgment, but making this huge, ambitious, technical faux landing, was it harder than 2001? Was it very difficult? I mean, what was the experience like? So 2001 was harder than faking the moon landing.
It actually was.
Because you learned things on 2001 and...
Yes. I mean, 2001 was very ambitious. And that's not to say that faking the moon landing was not ambitious, but yeah, I learned things making 2001, which is why I got this gig in the first place, right?
Right, that makes sense. So what was the experience?
But it was easy for me because, well, first of all, I didn't think a whole lot about the morality of it, as I said. If I had, I might have been more hesitant, more stifled in my work. But I didn't, and I could see that Neil was, actually. He was bothered by it.
More than Buzz Aldrin or anyone else involved?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
About
because in
what?
a way, everything was going to center around him. He was the one who was supposed to come down off the ladder and announce the step for mankind and what have you. He sensed that this was going to be a life-changing experience for him, and I mean on a major scale. Actually, he was rather tortured by it the rest of his life.
Really? I mean, is that why you didn't give interviews?
Yes, and in fact, that actually began to affect my own perception of it, watching what happened to him.
Okay, in what way? Just seeing the deterioration of him, and I mean, was he depressed or?
He was depressed. He was drinking heavily, bitter, scared, just phobic, avoiding people.
And that guy Bart Sibrel or something tried to get him to swear in a Bible.
I mean, when I say it affected me, that's why there was so much time in between films for me. Between Full Metal Jacket and, well, between The Shining and Full Metal Jacket was about 6 years. Between Full Metal Jacket and Eyes Wide Shut is 13 years.
Yeah.
And a lot of that time was spent just...
Like just emotionally processing?
Yes. It became very conflicting for me. I was proud of my work, but at the same time, and this was a lot because of Neil's influence. Not consciously. He didn't do this to me consciously. But I spent a lot of time with him, and each time I did, I became more and more bothered, troubled by my own participation in this.
Okay. Well, what would he say? I mean, did he explain the source of his depression?
He was on the verge of tears. He did not cry. I won't say he cried, but he was on the verge of tears so many times because of what he did.
I mean...
What he participated in. It's almost as if he thought up the idea, you know?
Right. He felt that guilt.
He was almost used, really.
Okay.
But he's the one who felt the guilt. I'm sure NASA did not feel that much guilt.
And, I mean, why did he go up, I wonder? I wonder why. Because they promised him a seat in 3 years when they figured it out. They kept lying about it being possible. So why do you think he did it? Why did Armstrong do it in the first place? He thought, they kept saying, we'll be ready in 3 years and you'll go then. Just lie now and we'll go in 3 years. The funding will keep going and we'll figure this out and you'll go.
Oh, actually go.
Right,
okay,
yeah. And
okay.
they were lying, you know,
yeah.
and they figured it out. And he got really, so cynical. Got it?
Okay.
So why did Armstrong go? I mean, he was such a moral, principled man. Why would he go on a fake moon mission? I don't believe that.
Well, they strung him along because they led him to believe, oh, don't worry, we're going to have the money in a few years, and we'll actually go, and then you will go.
They'll have. You mean they'll have the technology in a few years?
Yes.
Okay.
They will have enough. Yes, they will be able to actually perform the miracle of going to the moon. And yes, he would be in the saddle.
So in other words, okay, let's make this clear. Kennedy set a deadline, psychological deadline of the 60s. They knew they couldn't beat it.
Right. But they knew it would be
they
great PR if they did.
Right, and if they did, you're saying they sincerely thought that they would really get there within a few years.
I believe, yes, they did think so.
Because that's what they, well, I mean, that's...
Although some didn't. There was a difference of opinion. There were some that just believed honestly that we will never be able to get there. There's just no chance.
That Werner and I used to like have coffee in the mornings, and he was like, there's no fucking way. Like, you know, is it right? Like, you know, Werner von Braun.
All right.
So go, you got that. Some people didn't believe that you could go even?
Well, Werner von Braun, of course, didn't.
The director didn't think so.
The man was just too brilliant. He knew that we couldn't do it.
Yeah. So, okay. I'm talking about a guy working on 2 lost causes, Nazism and you know, the quest for the moon. I mean, he really did, and he didn't tell them? I mean, did he ever tell them? Did he tell NASA? Like, did he tell the president we can't go? I mean, he must have been broke the news.
He was very old, of course, at the time, and a lot of people just dismissed him. Younger, more ambitious people, some of them really thought we could get there.
Right.
Or wanted to believe it. Maybe on a conscious level they knew we couldn't, but they just wanted to believe the impossible because they were so full of themselves.
And so full of the dream.
Yes. The dream was very powerful.
And that's what beguiled Armstrong. Here is a noble stand-up guy, and he didn't want to be part of the lie, but he knew he'd get a seat if he played ball on when they actually did go up.
He was too good for this.
But that day never came, obviously.
That day never came.
And what did that do to him? I mean...
It gradually destroyed him, I think.
Okay.
He deteriorated. Yeah, like I said, he drank a lot. He was full of self-recrimination, and so was I. Well, mainly from his influence. It's like I caught it from him.
And now tell a story about, I talked to him one last time before his death, and he made me promise to get this news out. It was too great. It was, you know, this one last story.
I died before him.
Okay, one last conversation right? The last conversation you had was about 3 months ago.
Right.
And he said that, that he like he's going to write a letter and put it in a drawer, and maybe his wife someday will give it out. But he's like, all right, Stanley, you're a media guy. You got to tell the truth one day. Right before. But he urged me to tell the truth. He couldn't because of reasons that because he was a government employee his whole life and he had a government pension, and here I am a millionaire. Like, you can afford to, Stanley. Tell the truth. I still get a government pension. You know what I'm saying? And that's been eating on you to do this, and that's why you're not doing it now. You're doing it 15 years from now, or whenever. Like, in other words, you're telling this. That's why you're not announcing on CNN. It's because you're going to honor his wish, but you're not ready for it now to come out. But you're doing this for you.
Why am I putting it off? Because I think I'll be.
Because you don't want your family. You want to be dead,
right.
And you want your family to have 15 years on it. Your wife will probably be dead, and your kid will be grown.
Right.
You want distance from your legacy, from this truth. That's it. Okay.
Right.
So, what happened? So what really motivated contacting me as a filmmaker was I talked to Neil, okay, and I really felt guilty, and that's why I arranged for you to interview me, because I wanted to blah 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 blah. Let's talk about the motive. So Neil really got to you. I mean, it sounds like he's the impetus of this entire confession in a way. I mean. It's like a theme, like, so he really made you become circumspect about this.
He even virtually begged me to reveal all this. He couldn't do it himself. He has a pension to worry about. I had basically nothing to lose. I'm an established filmmaker, not involved with the government in any way except for this one job. And I made my millions. I'm really basically set for life. I'm almost 70.
But you still must fear one thing they can do to you, which is, I mean, I don't know. Do you ever? I mean, do you ever worry about them killing you because of the secret? I mean, you have become a bit of a recluse. I don't know. With the
Garbo, Howard Hughes, J.D. Salinger, and me.
Right.
And to some degree, Neil.
But did any of them think that the government was out to get them? And I'm not saying you think that, do you? I mean, the government obviously said they'll kill you. I mean, obviously, the government said it will kill you if you say anything. I mean, that's a standard top secret sort of penalty.
It's understood, even if it's not said.
Right. But they did say it to you, I presume. They did. I mean, the
Yes,
government,
they did.
they said basic, so it
They
wasn't.
tried to be cute about it, but yeah, it was said in no uncertain terms.
So why are you, so can't this get you killed?
Well, that's why I'm delaying it.
Okay, the 15-year
This
thing.
is not going to be seen
Okay, until
for another
15 years after you're
15
dead.
years.
Well, no, that's if you die tomorrow. You're not going to die tomorrow, clearly.
I'm sorry.
Okay, try again. Okay, it's okay. So why, you could get killed by doing this. This could kill you. Why are you doing that? That's...
Well, this is not going to be seen until
because of our
15 years after my
So
death.
now that's why you have to sign the NDA and all these. Okay.
That's right.
All right. Well, that makes sense now. Okay, I understand
Yeah.
that now. All right.
It should be known, but I want there to be some kind of cushion for my family. 15 years seems like a good number.
Okay. All right.
After my death, 15 years after my death.
But okay, so let's take a step back. You're making this tape out of an effect Neil had on you. I mean, Armstrong sort of influenced
Very
you.
much. Sometimes it just takes a catalyst. I mean, somewhere inside you know what's right.
Right.
I mean, I went for years just thinking I was doing the right thing, just through my art, and then something comes along that you don't even recognize as a temptation because you're so swept away by your own ego. It took someone like Neil Armstrong and distance and time to hammer into me what this really meant about society, about myself, about the human condition even, which is what I'm about.
So you must feel very proud and very guilty and proud of this thing. I mean,
yes, conflicted. I mean, I still think maybe it's a terrible thing to say, maybe not, but I look at that or even think of it, I just remember it, and I think this was my fucking masterpiece.
Yeah.
I still think so.
Right. I mean, it's the greatest.
Despite its flaws, it's my goddamn masterpiece. It's better than 2001. It's better than Paths of Glory or Clockwork Orange or Barry Lyndon or Dr. Strangelove. All of which I love, but
and you're included now. That's the moon landing itself, and what a triumphal story that is. Were you involved in any of the other missions at all, or is that just the one? I mean, did they just take your thing, or was it a one-off, or did you do them all? I mean, you just did 11 and 13. They brought you back after 12 failed. Okay, just to do 13. That's it. And Neil helped you with that. So was it just a one-off? I mean, you just did them. Did you do them all?
Well, I did 11 and 13 as well.
You did 13. Okay.
Not 12.
Why is 13 a failure then? Why did you?
Well, they brought me back.
And why? But why did you make it?
12 failed.
12 failed how? What do you mean? How did 12 fail?
You told me 12 failed.
How did it? I'm asking you a character. How did 12 fail?
Tim, can we stop?
Nobody watched it. No one cared.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay. I'm sorry.
Okay, so you did 11 and 13. But why 13? Why did you make 13 and do like a failure? Why did you?
Because 12 was a disaster. I mean,
what do you mean? Why?
Cared anymore. 72. By then, it was old hat almost. People just didn't care. And that's why they had to play golf up there.
Okay, so.
I mean, as if golf was watchable.
Okay.
I mean, if they'd had a horse race, that would have been watchable.
That's true.
But a golf match, I mean, a golf game on the moon.
Right. Okay, so they weren't getting the ratings.
That wasn't my idea. I will not take credit for that.
Okay, so it was really a ratings issue. They 12 didn't pull the ratings that 11 did. And so why did you come up with 13 storyline? Like, how'd that happen? Like, the no one cared.